Greetings, YouTube friends, subscribers, colleagues, scientists, humanity, like minded, all those on the greater endeavor for the greater good of humanity and more. Welcome to another Shadowburn broadcast. It's been a while, but I think this one demands a little bit of time and attention from a science perspective. So I'm going to see what I can try to discuss and explain as quickly as possible why I got a few moments to do that right now. So today is Friday, January the 23rd, 2025. Happy Friday, everybody. So what I'd like to talk about today is the impending and unfolding situation right now with the deep freeze from west coast to east coast of the United States of America. First, as you all know that stop by my channel and listen to my data points, there's one interesting thing that I always talk about and show video documentaries on, and that is when we have strong atmospheric changes underway, both geological and magnetic in nature. And what do we see currently right now? We see the clouds dropping down at an alarming and very low level. And we're seeing all kinds of interesting cloud phenomenon like roll clouds, tornado shelves, lots and lots of interesting stuff. And if you remember in several demonstrations quite some time ago, I would explain the types of effects that we're going to start seeing, hearing, and recognizing. And currently, what we are starting to experience now is where you're literally driving through the clouds and seeing clouds at ground level. So we have an interesting data point to discuss today, and that is going to be this. So currently, where I'm stationed at today is in Dallas, Texas. And here in Dallas, Texas, we know that we have the Arctic vortex coming down from north, coming down into South America down here towards the south. And lately, it's been in the high temp range, which is fairly normal, anywhere from 75 to 90 degrees, even right now is kind of like what it's been. But what can we really relate information-wise against this data point I'm bringing up right now? I don't know how many of you actually remember that quite some time ago, you would usually see in news feeds these things called frost quakes. And what I'm really wanting to discuss today is, or at least to make some type of a prediction based on what I'm seeing right now with the clouds, because the clouds are revealing a lot about what's going on geologically right now. Frequency-wise, geologically wise, atmospheric, the whole arena of science of everything that's going on that's making these things be possible to do what they're doing right now, including some possible man-made intervention. But the bottom line being is that we know that with the northern Arctic air and stream coming down, dipping down this far, down into the south. And now that stream expanding from the west coast of the USA now to the east coast of the USA, we see some extreme negative temperatures rolling in with that. So, is it possible that because the hot days have not been letting up here in Dallas, that when we all of a sudden get this instant spike of negative temperatures, will we start to see extreme ground activity, ground movement? Will we start hearing booms? Will infrastructure start to be displaced? Because the ground has been a very steady, warm temperature, and now it's about to experience a rapid freeze. So I am wondering what kind of infrastructure or geological disturbances we are about to experience from that rapid shift in temperature. So I thought I would come in today and make this interesting data point. I'm going to see if I can turn this camera on here in a minute. I mostly wanted to describe and illustrate my data points first, before I start turning on anything visually right now. But I'm wondering if we're also, because in the past few weeks, as you will know if you've been also watching the weather phenomenon that I've been documenting, that the clouds are doing some very interesting and strange things. And the wind speeds have become increasingly chaotic, like over 100 miles an hour, causing for the need to have tornado sirens to be turned on to warn of the impending wind speeds of over 100 miles per hour. And that has been something that has been actively happening in all the regions of Dallas as those wind speeds are actively picking up. And this is not due to tornado activity. This is, actual wind speed phenomenon. So other things that have been going on that you will not hear anywhere else, you will only hear it here from Shadowburn himself, is I had made the knowledge available to everybody that the types of phenomenon that you're going to start hearing and seeing physically in person is going to be the lightning and the thunder. And now, with the lowering of the cloud ceiling itself getting lower and lower to the ground now, and with the particle and the air density being so heavy and thick, that now when lightning or thunder is carrying across this dense air, these dense clouds at this level, that it'll be like sticking your head inside of a box and somebody blasting the stereo really loud. So lightning and thunder will carry a new meaning now as you're hearing it. Almost like as if you were standing next to a tree and a giant bolt of lightning hits it while you're standing next to it. So that is definitely one of the phenomenon I am most certain everybody is going to start experiencing, is elevated sound of lightning and thunder. We have already been documenting this all over the internet as a collective, is that the phenomenon of lightning actually shocking people and animals, aquatic life, over a span of miles. You may also see sometimes when you're looking up at the sky and we're having high particle activity that you see the sky flashing different colors, greens and blues and reds. There's been a lot of that type of phenomenon happening recently. And now, you have also been seeing, possibly if you've been looking for this, is buildings and cars and trucks getting hit by bolts of lightning as they're coming down. I'm sure, like if you search for a lot of that, you may find very recent imagery where you can see where some of that phenomenon is taking place. But today, it's Friday. I have been here within the past hour witnessing rapid temperature drops between different zip code zones. Generally, we look at zip codes as different zones. So when you're rolling from one zone to another zone, there are definitely differences in temperature displacement. So I've seen where when I cross from one zone to another, it might be like 55 degrees and then it instantly goes down to 39 degrees. So there's definitely temperature pockets that are existing currently between different zones as this weather is rolling in and through all of the different areas. So my next topic will be about the power and the infrastructure. The predictions on all of the models and the scales have been that anywhere from 3 to 12 inches or more of solid ice accumulation. What this may start prompting is for power and grids to possibly be shut down because of the type of charge, A, that we're going to be dealing with, B, the load on the grid, C, you're talking about, think about all your power lines and everything that are standing up everywhere that may be utility pole based, like on your wooden poles and all that, where those types of lines may not be able to support the adequate weight in ice on them. You may see distribution centers in areas like that, which there's quite a lot of those, being shut down so that transformers don't start popping and exploding everywhere. So they may shut down some things to protect the infrastructure. So that's kind of why you see a lot of the alerts that go out, and they try to get everybody to be stocked up and ready in case of a power outage. It's because they are trying to protect infrastructure. So these are basically just the topics that I wanted to come in and discuss very briefly today. The cloud coverage is so great right now that it just looks extremely gray everywhere. But more of the deep freeze is going to start depending on how fast the jet stream is pushing that Arctic vortex of air and wind down into the south. But Oklahoma is already getting the blunt of the blow from the northern side of Texas, where I'm currently at. But we've got a large band that is going to be sitting stationary for quite some time, a few days. So I think it's going to be get very interesting. If you think about like all your cell sites that are probably going to be running on generators, but you have to remember that generators are only going to be able to run for so many hours. And the problem today is with the digital age is there's no hard lines anymore in people's homes. So if you think about this, if the power is going out and all of these different cell sites are running on generators and nobody can actually get to them to refuel them, and they're only lasting for up to like 24 hours, think about this. There's no emergency crews that are going to be able to get to you or reach you if you can't make that phone call to get anybody to come out and rescue you. Now, while humanity everywhere has been seasoned and trained to only have a cell phone, while you get a benefit of being able to wirelessly communicate with each other, the non-benefit, the flip side of the coin, is going to be when the infrastructure goes down, there's not going to be any method to make contact anymore with anybody. You're kind of just on your own. So when real chaos hits during climatic events and crazy storms, floods, power outages, tornadoes, wind, and all that, when infrastructure is unable to communicate wirelessly through with power, and there's no landlines available, you're pretty much crippled. So will we see some fallout from this between the West Coast and the East Coast with this type of storm chaos going on? You can bank on it. You're definitely gonna see impact to life because of the crippling effect of having to rely on something that's no longer hardwired like it used to be in the old days. So it's kind of like what the trade-off is going to be at our current stage in the game. So that's about all the time that I have today. I just wanted to share some of this information with everybody, so hoping that they can be a little bit better prepared. Ultimately, if you're still in Dallas, you've still got some times to prepare, even though it's raining, but the temperature has not gotten too crazy yet. It's still like in the 40s. But as day turns to night, I think we can expect the freezing action to start. And I want to thank everybody for stopping by and listening to this broadcast. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You never know what you're going to get report-wise. But I try to keep everybody updated with interesting data points related to science and energy. And on a closing note regarding energy, it's really sad that we still can't get the release of the real energy technology. And all of that new, it's honestly, it's not new. It's still the same old stuff. But the U.S. courts had everything locked down for anything under perpetual motion could never be patented. So that was always put on extreme lockdown. But there are some individuals that were able to get those perpetual motion systems patented, but under new names like quantum energy. So same stuff, different names, loopholes in order to acquire the patents. But do the people still have the technology in their hands, and are they able to use it? No, they are not, because only the greedy people that are in power and have all of the money get to have all of the toys. But hopefully one day we can change all of that. And with that said, I'd like to wish everybody to be extremely safe. Try to get prepared if you can. And God bless and Godspeed the light. And if you are a person of knowledge, please hold the light for everyone else to see. Thank you.